welcome. We are wanting to share, eager to share our opening line. Tracy is receiving collective consciousness, known as source energy, known as eternal light beings. Tracy is the medium in which we are able to speak through. And it fascinates her each and every time. A miracle, she says. How do you move my hands? How do I know what to say? How did all this happen to somebody so ordinary, such as myself? And our message is always that you are a miracle creating miracles. Each soul upon Mother Earth is. So the foundation of the sharing is always based on love, compassion, forgiveness, kindness. Doesn't matter which order you put those in, if you will. And with that foundation, there are many avenues that we can branch out and speak about. We often talk about emotions because emotions truly can, we want to say, make or break somebody's day. Emotions, all emotions are meant to be felt. Anger, resentment, sorrow, hurt. And the contrast of happiness, joy, abundance, laughter, all emotions to make one feel something. So what are you feeling this very day? What are you feeling this very day? We have come across many, if you will, that truly feel that life, we want to say, is just not fulfilling. Many feel in their travels of life that there are so many hurdles and setbacks, so many sorrows, and we want to say hurt, that it gets carried along one's journey of life upon Mother Earth. And with that comes the emotions in response to, if something has upset you, it has upset you. And if something has upset you, we would allow every emotion that you are feeling to allow the experience of. The trick is not to carry the anger, if you will. We'll just use anger as an example because it is quick to come to. There are many, many thousands of reasons that one would become angry throughout a day, throughout a lifetime, if you will. So one set out on their journey, and it doesn't take very long to find the space of, we want to say, just feeling beaten by life. Say it that way. There are many who are unable to bring forth their own divine joy held within. And when ones are in that space of absolute discontentment, disheartenment, frustration, sorrow, but even deeper than that, the sense that nothing matters. Nothing matters. I don't care. I give up. Do what you want. I don't care what the world does. I don't even care what I do. Just get me through this lifetime. And ones are finding it very difficult to even get up out of bed in the morning with any sense of enthusiasm. So many burdened with the heaviness of life. So we don't want to paint a humdrum picture and always speaking about. But it is predominant. And isn't it fascinating that ones can truly find that space? So if you had a scale, if you will, and all the emotions, sort of unwanted emotions, opposite to joy, anything opposite from joy, peace, contentment, lightheartedness, when ones are light on their feet, anything opposite to that, that takes away or robs one from feeling that joy and enlightenment. The sense that all things are miracles, to see the world through the eyes of Source, to see the world as divine is, if you will. So often ones do not reside on that part of the scale, if you will. And it feels like sort of sliding down to the disappointments, to the hurts, to the unwanted travel, to anything that allows one to feel the opposite of joy. Fill it in, feel sorrow, pain, burden, heartache. And so when ones are experiencing that, how does one go from that to feeling that lightheartedness? It's very difficult to do in a very quick transition, if you will, to go from being heavy-hearted to lighthearted. How is that transition made? And being burdened with hurt and sorrow and discouragement and disappointment, burdened with it. Not a little bit, burdened, where the world, one cannot see the world with any clarity at all. How does one get from there to feeling the sense of feeling better, more content, less burdens, relief? Use the word relief. How does one go from the burdens to relief? And truly, it is a choice. And it is so difficult for ones to believe that it would be a choice. Are you kidding me? I didn't choose this. I didn't choose this in my life. I did not expect all these challenges. I did not expect to lose loved ones. I did not expect the burdens. I did not expect the sorrow. How can it be a choice? How can it be a choice? The choice is that it would be natural to feel something. So something has presented itself and you feel anger, true anger, complete anger, anger from the depths of your soul, anger, almost to the point of rage anger. It is allowed. It is meant to be felt. There are emotions. All emotions are meant to be felt, to feel something. It is difficult to see that it is a choice. But what is truly the choice? Because it is natural to feel angry when something is presented that would naturally cause anger. The choice is, how long do you wish to carry it for? How long would you like to carry anger for? Some carry anger a lifetime. Some carry the feeling of unworthiness a lifetime. Every moment in time, carrying the burdens of feeling unworthy, feeling the burdens of just feeling uncared for. So, to answer the question, how do ones get from there to feeling more enlightened? And we would say to choose to let go of the burdens that one is carrying. Now, not easy. This is not a 1, 2, 3 fix. Do this, this, and this, and this, and you're going to feel amazing. No. You cannot feel amazing if you are feeling burdened. We understand this. So one has to be placed down to experience the other. Joy and happiness, contentment and peace had to be placed aside to experience the anger, upset, name it what you will, the opposite of. It had to be placed aside because you cannot feel happy and angry at the same time. It is impossible. So one has to be placed down. And we want to say the attention of, why does it feel that this end, the happiness, joy, contentment, is easier to place down than it is easier to place down frustration and anger, burdens, if you will, name it what you will. Why does it feel so natural to be on this end Why is that when your natural inner essence of all that you are is pure love, joy, compassion, kindness? Why is it that ones find it easier to place down the happier side of life, to replace it, or to hold on to the more burdened part of life? Now again, we want to be gentle, because every soul that is experiencing the heaviness of life has a right to do so. It would be natural. It would be natural. There are some things in one's lifetime that they would never feel that they could come up for a breath of relief at all. Takes them to their knees. And that is understood. This is not a conversation where we are saying, oh, just place down your anger to find joy. In the understanding of, yes, you would naturally feel this way because of life experience. But we want to share that even though it is natural to have the response, what is even more natural that gets buried under these life experiences is your joy, because it is who you authentically are. We ask the question, where were you before arriving to Mother Earth? Where were you? Most ponder where ones will transition to after Mother Earth. Most would agree divine eternal light. Let us just say, we're not here to change a belief. So if divine eternal light is truly who you are, and in your divine eternal light only holds the grandest, greatest expansion of love, the grandest, great expansion of, we want to say, light, the grandest, great expansion of comfort and ease and healing, if you will, you hold all this naturally within you. You came to Mother Earth with it. It doesn't feel like that, not when you're burdened with the experiences of life. How could it feel that way? It just became buried in the experiences of life, in the experiences of the emotions that ones, we want to say, tend to hang on to, naturally so. So again, the question, how does one move from placing down their anger? We'll use that because it's more gentle than the extreme burdens of life. Place down the anger to pick up joy or pick up happiness. Let's make it a little, joy seems so far away for so many. Joy, are you kidding me? Happiness, we're all looking for that. But why are you looking? When it truly is just a choice. It feels that you are looking, because ones are always wanting naturally to feel better than one is feeling, and one is always naturally wanting to move into a greater, higher vibration. And why is that? Because it is one's authentic, purest sense of who one is, divine, eternal light. That is who you are, underneath physical form. The soul within, your God within. Who were you before arriving to Mother Earth? And who will you be after departing Mother Earth? Most would agree, divine eternal light. Do you think divine eternal light holds any opposite to love? And it would feel absurd that ones in the heavens are quarreling, and it's anger, and there's war and resentment and harshness and judgment and condemnation. Ones do not truly imagine, if you will, heaven to be this way. Why is that? Because ones have an understanding that it is all divine eternal light. Our message to you is, you are divine eternal light. And underneath the burdens is the light to come forth and to be shared, who you truly are. But we understand it is not an easy, we want to say, journey. But when one can see that it is a choice, I chose anger. I did not choose happiness in that moment. Ones then can sort of get their head around which one they want to hold on to, which one would like to be carried. What would you like to carry this day? And we know it is difficult to let something go when it feels so awful, because you feel that you have all reason, and you do, to feel the way you do. But what if you had all reason to feel the opposite of the unwanted? What if you had all reason to feel happiness? What if you had all reason to feel peace and contentment and worthiness, which you do? You have all reason to bring yourself to hold happiness. It's not a search for happiness. You hold it. The search is to bring it forth to be experienced. Anger was brought forth, and that seems so natural. Why is it that happiness doesn't seem natural? Waiting for this to happen, waiting for that to happen, waiting for this to come. It'll be better when, it'll be better when, it'll be better when. And it's always moving. Oh, I'll feel better when the children arrive. Oh, I'll feel better when the children are in school. I'll feel better when the children are moved out. I'll feel better when I have grandchildren. I feel better when. And there's always that anticipation of something that is going to make it feel better than it is. Why is that? So the same, we want to say thing, so say children, it's always one step ahead. Well, I'll feel better when. I'll feel better when. I'll feel better when I'm married. Oh, I'll feel better when I'm divorced. How is that? The same thing. Marriage. Yes. We only are using examples to illustrate, if you will, that happiness and joy and contentment and peace is held within. It is your authentic self, and you are deserving of. You came to Mother Earth with it. Why not experience it? Why not? So often the opposite is experienced and held on to. We are only suggesting that ones truly ponder what they wish to walk with. You naturally walk with happiness and joy, compassion, kindness, love, forgiveness. It is part of divine light. Think of how it would be in the heavens, if you will. It is who you naturally are. You came with it. Where were you before Mother Earth? So it would, we want to say, make sense that it is who you are. But life experience allows the contrast. And so, is it okay to be angry or upset, feeling resentful, feeling discarded and rejected and burdened? Yes. But for how long do you wish to feel this way? How long do you wish to carry it? How long do you wish to feel shackled to these emotions when your natural, authentic self is saying, hello, I'm here, I am you. Don't forget about me, meaning bring me forth. Your light is always shining. It may feel very dim on the darkest days, absolutely. But your light is always shining. Always. Your light is who you are. So, we don't want to be sort of, oh, light and love. No, we speak about the depths of love, the depths of light. Divine, eternal light is our message. And it is our message for you to feel better than perhaps you are feeling. And if you are feeling on top of the world, just all things in its glory of all things good, isn't it grand? And if you are feeling anything less than that, isn't it something that you can bring forth that feeling for yourself. Isn't it something that it is who you are? And just sort of buried, naturally, we want to say discarded? Why does the hurt carry for decades? Because ones won't often say, oh, I've been happy for decades. I've been content for decades. I've been so joyful for decades. Not very often, but it is almost the norm, if you will, for ones to say, I have been burdened for decades. I have been angry for decades. I don't know. I've been frustrated for decades. I have felt less than and unworthy for decades. Why is that? Why is that? Just a little pondering. So how do you do it? That is truly from your own divine inner essence the answers for you. How do you do it? All we will share is you cannot hold one and hold the other. One has to be placed down. Choose to place down the unwanted in order to find the space to feel so good within oneself, for it is who you are. We cannot say it any other way, and we do not want to bore anyone with our sharing, but it is a sharing to allow space and time. Allow space and time for ones to ponder what one is carrying and how long one chooses to carry it for. How long? And how long would you like to find and feel happiness for? How long? Why not make it a decade? But we know life shows contrast. It is understood that there is contrast. You would not know hot if you didn't know cold. You would not know joy if you didn't know sorrow. The contrast is always needed, but it's not always meant to be hung on to. Really, really, really good. There is great love for you.